Alright my friends, in the last video we have added a markup that we want to show once the user navigate to the user info component. So let me show you here. If we click on one of these names for these photographers, we should be able to navigate to the component that corresponds or that is responsible for displaying the user information. But up to this point we have only added the markup. Let's jump over and access all these informations. So once again, if we take a look on the console on the console and our component right here, you will see we got, let me refresh so we can make sure that we have this component. Okay, we have this thing right here that this information or this log comes from the line 19, right? So if I click on the line 90 right here, we can see it comes from the component did mount. So the information are available inside the component did mount. But in our case, I want to show it or I want to use it here inside my render method, right? So we have two different methods, but we want to share the information between them because I want to use, once again, I want to use the user information inside my render method. This is not available without using the state. Okay, I'm going to use the state to share any data that I want to use it in multiple methods. In this case, the component did mount as well as the render right here. So what we will do up to this point, we are only logging the information that we will get from the API to the console. Instead, I'm just gonna say this dot set state. I'm gonna put it inside my state, all right, because I want to use it from I want to use the information that it's coming from the component did mount inside my render method. To do so, I have to store it in my state. Now once again, here I have just said this dot set state to update my state, and I can pass it an object with the properties that I want to set. In my case, I'm just gonna update my user object, which will be the new user information that will come from the API right here. Pretty straightforward. Now if we take a look here inside our render method, we have the ability to go ahead and render anything that we want here to the user. So let me show you a quick stuff that I have did. If I go back right here inside my the main components on the photo list component, and I'm gonna refresh, you will see this loading here that show here right here. It's quickly showing, and once I fetch the data, I'm gonna remove the loading and display the actual information. Hopefully you can see it here on the top left corner. This is exactly what I want to do, because once the data is not ready, let's say, all right, the data is not being fetched yet, then I wanna display loading or stuff like that. All right, so in order for us to do so, here instead of returning everything directly, I'm gonna check. First of all, we want to fetch the user object from our state. So instead of saying something like if this dot state dot user, I think this is too much. What I will do here, I'm just gonna create a variable. I'm just gonna call it user equal to this dot state. All right, so now here I have to destructure. I'm gonna destructure my user object from the entire state and store it here. So now I can say if not user, that means the user, it's not defined yet or it's null, it's not fetched yet. I'm just gonna return let's say a text that will say loading. All right, so loading like this. Now if we go back, we cannot see anything up to this point because we have to go ahead and use it here, use the user object first of all, then we will see some difference. All right, so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in this video we have set up the state, and now we have the ability to go ahead and display some information using this right here, this state. So if I go ahead and here inside my render method, I say, oops, I'm just gonna say console.log. all right, I just want to show you something here. I'm just gonna say user. All right, And here I'm gonna remove my console.log from my component mount. I want to see what information that I have inside my render method. And if you take a look here, we have the exact same object. Now we have all the needed information ready here inside our render method. So on the next video we'll go ahead and display them right here. So in this video we have just updated our state as well as did some conditional rendering that we will see the benefit of it later on. Hopefully that makes sense. Thank you my friends so much for watching. See you in the next one.